the policies and procedures that are created in a company, they come down from the top management. Okay, and you need people at the ground level to percolate it, and so that they can implement these policies and procedures. So in order to efficiently utilize all the EHS resources, you have a different components, like you can create the reports related to incidents. Maybe they are near misses or safety observations or any accidents, be it anything. You can capture all those incidents using SAP, and you can project it to your management. Maybe you can create your reports, and you can project just to see how your EHS system is performing. That is one thing. Normally, up to this point, what we used to do, or all the safety professionals used to do, is we used to create everything using PowerPoint, and using Excel sheets. We used to track all the incidents, and most of the data related to EHS was handled using this basic Microsoft tools. But now, with the implementation of SAP EHS, everything has become automated. There is nothing, even if you want to create any incident report or injury illness report, all these things can be done using the SAP EHS module. How it is going to help? This will reduce the number. It will reduce the number of people who are required to track these performance at the ground level, and it is going to save time, because normally to create any risk assessment or incident report, it will take a lot of time. But by using this software, it is going to speed up the whole process. Once you create these reports, you can directly share these reports to your management or to the regulatory authorities in the form of a soft copy. Otherwise, you can take a printout of these reports and you can use them as a hard copy. Okay, that is one thing. Second is complying, the compliance related part. Maybe it is related to your hazardous substances or hazardous waste, whatever the regulations are there. In order to comply with those regulations, you can create those regulations in our SAP EHS and ensure that all the regulatory paperwork documents are created on time and they are submitted to these agencies on time. Okay, in that way, again, it will save a lot of time and manual work will be reduced, so that you can streamline your resources. That is another thing. Then from time to time, on a month-on-month basis, or quarter-on-quarter basis, you can actually track how your EHS system is performing, depending on the number of cases, incidents or near misses, and the control measures that you have implemented, how they are effective, or do you need to make some changes. Okay, you can generate these real-time reports. And if any changes are required, you can directly ask the concerned person, or maybe the maintenance persons can come into picture, and they can adopt this additional control measures. That is another possibility that we have. Overall, I can say SAP EHS, once implemented, will reduce a lot of time it takes to reporting, and also you can effectively manage your overall EHS system. So that is about this SAP EHS as an overview. Now coming to the different components, you have basic data and tools. That is the first component in SAP EHS. You use this component to store all your EHS related data. That can be either the physical chemical properties of your chemicals or any other hazardous substances, or if you want to prepare your standard operating procedures, the data that is required, basically you can create the data and save it under basic data and tools. So this is a very important component which is connected with all the other things. Okay, so this basic data and tools is mainly used for creating reports, for generating labels. If you want to generate any standard operating procedures or MSDS reports, product safety reports, all that can be done using basic data and tools. Okay, that's the purpose of this. Next, you have product safety. So this component is mainly used by the companies that are into manufacturing sector. Using this product safety component, you can create the various kinds of reports, MSDS, safety instruction manuals, or any customer, the product information that goes directly into the hands of the customers. All those reports can be created using the product safety component. Apart from this, we have something known as substance volume tracking. This substance volume tracking is very helpful in terms of managing the overall quantity of the hazardous substance. As you must be aware, there are regulations in place which restrict what is the quantity of hazardous substance you can use in a company. Based on those quantities, you can track how much is the available quantity, what is the maximum limit. Whenever your total quantity of hazardous substance is reaching to the maximum limit, the system is going to generate alerts. These alerts may be in the form of messages. These alerts can be in the form of emails sent to the concerned person, and sometimes they even block the documents so that you don't procure more hazardous substances. So in that way, substance volume tracking is very helpful to track the quantity of the hazardous substance in any company. Okay. Then apart from this, you have global label management for creating your labels and how to create the label, what are the different types of labels that are available, etc., etc. All the label related data can be managed using global label management. Similar thing goes with WWI report template, which is used to create report templates. For instance, if you want an incident report, you can design that report using WWI. And what data has to go into that report, then what are the various, the measurement values that has to be captured, all that, the designing of the report can be done using this WWI report template. Okay, these things are in product safety. Similarly, you have hazardous substance management, which can be used for managing your hazardous substances. You can create reports related to hazardous substances. Then dangerous goods management is one of those components which will help companies in preparing the documents related to the dangerous goods and to comply with the various regulations that are in place, especially for the dangerous goods management. Suppose if your company is in a multinational trade relationship, and if you are producing any goods that are sent to overseas, then what happens is there are some regulations which you need to comply. For example, you have REACH regulation, ADR regulations, and some of the like you even have United Nations dangerous goods regulations. So you have to prepare the documents as per the requirement of that regulation. Only then you can continue to have a trade relationship with those countries. Okay, so that is one major requirement. Apart from documentation, you can also learn in dangerous goods what are the different transport categories. For instance, we have IATA, we have IMDG, and then we have a road transportation. So depending on what kind of mode of transport you are using for the transportation of dangerous goods, you can decide which is the transportation method you will be using and what are the applicable regulations on that transportation, and then what are the documents that are required for that transportation. So all these things, all the data required for your dangerous goods management can be created, including the documents. Okay, so that is why dangerous goods management is one of the backbone components in EHS. In a similar way, if you're a manufacturer and known for producing any hazardous waste, again this comes under the regulatory requirement. If it is a hazardous substance, you need to take the license from the government, and all the vendors who are concerned with this waste management handling. These vendors should be licensed, and there are various documents again which you have to prepare for disposal process. So we'll learn what are the different roles we can create in waste management, like you have waste generator, waste disposer, waste transporter, and authority. These are the four major roles in waste management. So how do you create them? What are the different vendors you can create under each role? We will learn that. Finally, we will also see how the documents are created, because for each country there will be a different document requirement. In Germany, you call it as waste manifest, and in UK, you call it as doc receipt, etc., etc. So we will see what are these disposal documents. Apart from disposal documents, you will also learn about entry document, how to create the entry document, what is the data that will contain in an entry document. All this information related to waste management, we are going to learn under this. Okay. Then going ahead, industrial hygiene and safety, like I told you, this is one of the components that can be used by any company or any stream. In industrial hygiene and safety, you can create your risk assessments. All your accident incident reporting can be done using this component. And we have something known as exposure management. That is nothing but if you want to know how much your employees are exposed to a particular type of hazards, you can go into the exposure management and calculate the exposure level. Okay, and depending on the exposure level, you can take the corrective measures so that the overall exposure level comes down to the acceptable limit. That is what we call it as the exposure management. Similarly, we have another component, work area management, wherein an entire company or a plant is subdivided into different work areas, into smaller work areas, so that managing the risk associated with each work area can be accomplished very softly, and whatever the corrective measures are required depending on the hazards of each work area, you can easily implement them. So that is why this work area management is very important. It makes our work easier in order to manage the risk and the related corrective measures. Okay, so all these things come under industrial hygiene and safety. Of course, again, you have measurement management wherein you can measure what is the level of agents that are there. If your employees are working in a noisy area, what is the level of noise they are exposed to? What is the reference value? You can take those readings or measurements and you can compare it with the reference value. And you can make a deduction whether any improvement in control measures are required, or is it well within the exposure limit, and then you can continue with your measurement, very often, maybe like every 6 months or every 1 year. You can continue with those measurements in order to track the effectiveness of the control measures. These all things are related to industrial hygiene and safety. Occupational health is our last component, where this component is completely related to the health and well-being of employees. So here we learn the pre-employment medical checkup, post-employment medical checkup, or even your regular medical checkups. How are they formulated? What is the basis for the various kind of medical checkups? And vaccinations related to your occupational health can also be created in this. And there is something known as medical service. Under medical service, each and every employee working in that company will have to undergo the medical checkup. The system will automatically generate the list of employees who are supposed to go for the medical checkup in the coming weeks. And then you can send them out the invitations. The invitations, if the employee accepts, then you can schedule an appointment with the doctor, and the related medical reports will come directly to the HR or administrator. So in that way, you can maintain a high level of data security as well when it comes to the health of the employees. Schedule planning, or planning the medical checkup for the employees, booking the calendar, taking appointment with the doctor, all those different activities can be conducted using our occupational health. Not apart from these things, there is another thing what you can do from here. You can create an injury or illness report. So we see this from time to time in our sites. If there is any injury to the employee, or if he is suffering from any illness, we can create an injury illness report. And these report can be directly either shared to your management, or you can again combine it with the accident incident report for further investigation. So that is why injury illness report, again, it is coming under your occupational health component. Okay. And the last point, if you see, I have written integration between incident accident log, medical service, and injury illness log. This integration makes us possible to conduct an in-depth investigation. If there was any injury, what was the root cause of the injury? Or did it occur because of any accident? So you can go through all those aspects and create the integration between your accident report and injury illness report. So that is why this integration plays a very important role in our data. Then finally, when we have covered all the EHS related topics, I will also tell you regarding the tables that are used in EHS. So these tables are where your data gets stored. Whenever you create any new data in our SAP EHS, it is in these tables that the data gets saved. Why these tables are useful, what are its applications, all those things we are going to discuss under our technical classes. Okay, or it's not that I will complete everything, or in the end I will tell you regarding this. In the middle, as well as we start with our SAP EHS, I am going to introduce you to some of these technical concepts known as tables. Because as a consultant, when you start working, you need to understand what is a table, how to access these tables, and what are its uses. If you don't know these things, then it will be very difficult to work as a consultant. So that is why learning these tables as well is of prime importance. Okay, so this is one small presentation. I tried to explain as much as possible within the brief time. If you have any questions related to these components, you can ask me, or we can go directly to the server.
No, thanks, Mr. Nayaz. I had a broad outview of whatever you told.
Yes.
In fact, it was very interesting when you started with the basic tools, still, OHS and IHS. Like
Yes.
you told about product safety, hazardous substance, dangerous good, waste
Yeah.
management, industrial hygiene safety, and occupational health and safety. Then
Yes.
integration of these two with the the employee medical checkup along with the
Yeah.
doctors, and having an annual medical checkup or review medical checkup. Apart from that, IIPP also you told injury in illness prevention planning and all.
Yes.
So
Yes.
more or less, I think see, one thing to be very honest is, and you also told about material safety data sheets and how do you make the DGM
Yeah.
and hazardous waste also integrate across the country through the various laws. You also told about the the way it has to be transport from one country to another, either through IATA
Yes.
or through the road transport or through different companies rules and regulations.
Yes.
So I think to be very honest, this is what I've been already doing in a different way, Nayaz, in
Yes.
sense doing the paperwork. As you told initially, we
Yeah.
also we only have used Microsoft tools such as
Hmm.
Word, Excel, and the kind of stuff
Yes.
wherein which we have generated. Now getting it on to the technicalities of the this SAP is the what can I tell, new beginning or a challenge for us. That I think should be how quickly can we learn that phrases or whatever you tell, or that coding you mentioned. That is the challenge for us, I think, Mr. Nayas.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, like again, like I told you, we can learn it, but it depends how much effort you can put and how quickly you can learn these concepts. Again, it is all dependent on you. I can complete it within a month or 1.5 months. That's not an issue at all. But sometimes in the interviews, you cannot see, though it looks very simple and it looks directly related to EHS. But when we get into the SAP EHS software, that is where all the technicalities will come into picture, especially your configuration related details. How do you configure the data? Okay, and what are the different transaction codes? What are the tables that are connected with each transaction code? How do you interact with the client? How do you gather the requirements? So that is where it lies.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I'm getting it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take you through the software. Okay, you can just have a look. I'll show you what are the different components that we discussed, where you can find it. This is how the server looks like. Okay, you have to basically use the user ID and password, and this is your initial screen. Now, if there are two things here which you need to understand. One, the work that is done by the consultant. And secondly, what does the end user do? The end user basically creates all these reports, forms, okay, the incident reporting, or creating MSDS, all that is taken care by the end user. That is what he does. But apart from those things, we have something known as configuration, wherein you have to take the master data provided by the client and you have to configure it. Configuring is nothing but, just like making the settings to use this software. So after going to SPRO, we can come directly to the EHS component. Under this module, these are all the various, just now what we discussed, starting from basic data tools to industrial hygiene and safety. So under each of these components, we will be doing something known as the configuration. Suppose if you create any specification, you come to the specification master, and here you create the different specification types. So you have to execute each of these buttons and do the configuration work. Okay, so this configuration may be related to your dangerous goods, or if you are creating any real substance or any chemical related data. In all such cases, this is where you have to do all the settings. Okay, this is the configuration part. Now, the exact parallel to this configuration would be your specification workbench. So let me take you, the transaction code to go to the specification workbench is CG02BD. This is what the command we use. You will be learning all these transaction codes, and after going through these transaction codes, what is the exact details you have to create. So under these specifications, you have to create the specification types, and for various materials, we can generate MSDS from this specification workbench. As an example, these are some of the specifications that are there in the system. Now you can use or open each of these specifications. You can enter the relevant data. The data might be related to the physical chemical properties of this substance, or how do you store it, what is the safety related information. All that can be created and saved under each of these specifications. Now, if you want to generate any report, let's say you want to generate a MSDS report, you can directly generate from this specification. You just have to go to the report section, reports template, and then select one of the generation variant, and that particular report will be generated. This is just a sample wherein, I'm trying to explain how useful this specification workbench is. So you have a lot of generation variants. Generation variants are nothing but these are the templates kind of, using which you can generate any report which you want. Not only MSDS, even incident accident reports can be generated using this template. So what happens basically is your MS Word is the one on which these reports will be generated, but the data will be taken from your specification. Okay, this is one of the example for your safety data sheet, but where does the information come which needs to be filled in each of these sections? It will come from the specification management or the specification which we have already created. Okay, so it will be very easier to generate the MSDS reports depending on, you can make any changes to the data, save the data, and immediately you can create your MSDS report. Maybe some technical parameters you need to change, chemical or physical parameters you need to change. You can change them accordingly and you can generate the safety data sheet. Okay, so this is about the MSDS, or in general the specification management. Similarly, there are various other, like for example, if you want to create any injury illness report, that too is easy. You just have to go to the transaction code of that particular function, and then you can create it accordingly. So this is how you can create the injury illness report. You have to mention the basic data if you are searching for any injury report already present in the system, or if you want to create it, click on the create button and make an entry of all the data related to the injury. This is one example for the injury illness report. Or if you want to see some sample reports, that too is possible. You have two demo reports here. So if you want to see any of these reports, you just have to double click on them, and it will give you all the information related to the injury. Okay, so exactly this is how you need to fill the data when you are creating any injury or illness report. Various tab pages allow you to enter the data pertaining to that injury. For instance, involved people, what was the first aid given, where did the event happen, the time of event, injuries sustained by the person, what was the treatment location. All these details will be captured in our injury illness report. Again, I told you regarding the integration, if you remember, there is an integration between injury illness and accident report. So that is quite evident here. If you see, if you click on this incident accident log, it will take you directly to the accident report. So you have injury illness report on one end, and another is the accident report on the other hand. So this is the related report to this person. This is your accident incident report, wherein you can create the data in a detailed manner, starting from the event location up to the investigation, trying to find out what was the root cause, involved people. If you have any eyewitness, you can take the eyewitness statement, you can conduct an investigation, you can upload the supporting documents. Okay, this is all related to your accident data. Now, along with this, there is another function which is available. With this accident report, if you want to revise or review your safety measures that are in place, you can come directly to the safety measures tab. And from here, if you want to add any safety measures, you can add them. You have three broad categories under this: technical, organizational, person related. So any safety measure, if you feel needs to be added additionally, you can select that, and you can add those safety measures as well. Okay, so this is about injury illness log and accident incident log. Right, so this is a small demonstration of the software that we would be using. This is a demo system where all the modules will be available. You can use any module because this is a practice system. The access will be available for 2 months. If you want to extend, you can extend, and whatever practice that you have to do it using this software. Yeah, any doubt regarding this, Cynthia? Do you have any doubt, or you want to ask anything?
Yeah, in fact, one thing is again, Mr. Niyaz, thanks again. In fact, you went through specification management. From specification management, you told how we can, update or upgrade our MSDS if required. You also told about some variable component which can actually be of the same kind, right? For example, I think you used the a chemical called butane, if I'm not wrong. So, and after that, you went into the injury illness, and you again saw that how that injury illness can also be created as a accident for the same person, two different versions, but which is interlinked kind of thing. That is what you showed. I think yes, that is there. And finally, we're trying to tell that all this is available in this software tool. One is the main purpose is how do we navigate into it, and what is that we are looking, and what is that we are filling in. That is the thing, right? So from a perspective of a Word, my MS Word to an SAP, it is one can't tell it is duplication. One can only tell it is a kind of a report which will always be evident, and anyone anywhere within the framework of that office can access that, right?
Absolutely.
So this is what you were trying to mention. Fair enough, Mr. Nayas. One thing I would like to ask now: how do we, like, you are talking about testing and kind of stuff, right? How do we do it by ourselves, or are there some exercises where we have to get into and do that so that it becomes memorized into our brain quite oftenly?
No, what you have to do is basically you have to practice it. Let's say if you have to make some configuration in specification management. Okay, let's say you want to create a new specification type. Now that cannot be done using our commands. The commands are only used by the end users normally to create reports like this. Now, as a consultant, you would be required to create a new data element, for example, specification type. Now, I'll tell you, you have to go to SPRO, this is the road, then go to reference IMG, then go to your EHS component, and then go to your product data tools, specification management, master, then go to your specify specification types. So this is where you will come and you have to create or configure a new data that will be used by the end user of the client company. Okay, so you should remember exactly what are the steps, because in the interview they will ask you, okay, if I have to create a new specification type, what is the route, where should I go, and where can I create it? This is a sample question. So you have to remember, because at that time you cannot be accessing the system. You have to keep that in mind. Okay, I have to go to SPRO, then go to reference IMG, then I have to go to EHS, then basic data tools, then specification master, then specify specification type. So it should be as simple as that. The flow should be there. Okay, only then you can convince them that yes, you are pretty much aware, you have a good hold on the software.
Okay. So now in this context, sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, you are on the flow. I am sorry, interpreted.
Yeah. So that is what they expect. They expect that that you have not by hearted. You should have that flow. You should show them that you are very convenient in using this software. So that is one important signal that that goes to them to prompt them to hire you.
Okay. So from SBRO, reference IMG, EHS, basic data tools, specification management, specific type. So this is the basic way where we actually.
That's just one of the route I'm saying. There are many other things which you have to remember in a similar fashion.
So this kind of what can I tell, techniques or tools you will give us, is it?
Yeah, I'll just show you. I'll show you, like for instance, if you have to create any specification, exactly what are the steps you require to follow. Okay, so those specifications will be your customized as per your custom made specifications. All you're seeing here, these specifications are already there in the system. Maybe as a standard they have given. But if I tell you to create a specification like this, ZChem_02, you should be able to support the end user. He'll say, boss, I don't know how to create this. Please help me out. So you should create this property tree, this folder, this value assignments, and within this value assignments, what are the different characteristics available? All these things you should be able to create it.
Okay. So now, what about those exercises and some kind of a sample kind of a thing, Mr. Nayas? You will give many for each and every component, from hazardous substance to waste management to industrial hygiene safety. You will give different scenarios, is it? So that we understand it very quickly.
scenarios in the sense I will tell you what are the uses of those components, what exactly can we do inside those components, how they are useful, how to create the data, what are the reports associated with those components. Those are the things that I'm going to teach you.
Okay. And that coding you told, na, SPRO and SH, some coding you are trying to...
It's not coding, it's configuration.
Some numbers, right?
It's a configuration means you have to enter the master data. Because see, the requirement by the client may be different. They may be using different set of data. Now, they want their data to be available in the SAP software. So how do you do that? How do you create their data in the system? That cannot be done by the end user. That has to be done by the consultant.
Oh, okay. So,
no, for example, now let's say the customer or the client, he uses some specification type which is known to himself. So this real substance and other specification types what you are looking at, these are the standard specification types. Now what he will ask you is to create his own specification type like this. For example, Z real substance E. This is not there. This will not be given by the SAP. This is supposed to be created by you as a consultant. Okay, then you need to create this data object. Okay, so that's your role. Your role as a consultant is manifold. You have to provide a solution. The requirement may be vague. Maybe it is not easy to provide a solution in SAP. At that time, you have to take the help of your technical consultant, your colleagues, and then you have to create some reports or coding has to be done so that his requirements are met. Sometimes he will say, look, I don't like this screen. I want this screen to be changed. I need more button options to be available in my specification workbench. So the requirements can vary from simple to very, very complex. Okay, I hope I was able to guide you on this.
Right. Thanks, sir. In fact, yes, what you are trying to tell is a consultant has to, play on every level, go forward, backward, sideways.
Yeah. Yes, he should be both an end user and as well as a technical consultant, both.
Correct. So he has to manage and,
because, as an example, if I'm a mobile, technician, I should know how to operate the mobile phone as well as the technicalities behind it so that I can rectify the issues in this.
Okay. The coding part, whatever you told, what is that? What can I tell? That configuration numbers and all, that shortcuts to that and all will be given, right? Basically, this is what it is.
Yeah, actually, it is quite simple. See, you just have to remember only a small part. Like, SPRO is the command or transaction code. Then you go to SAP reference IMG. Once you go into EHS, all the configuration will be done within this. There is no need to go outside of this.
Okay.
All will be done here inside.
Okay. The basic data, product safety, global management, label, everything.
Yes.
Okay. So, as you told during the WhatsApp message, you're telling you can help me do on a fast track. So technically now it is my domain how I quickly understand the concepts and prove it to you, Mr. Nayas, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So okay. And in reference with see ultimately whatever we talk is again where we actually end up is how quickly can we get into a fold. How many are there companies which will immediately take guys like us, because we have this domain expertise but not the SAP as of now, as of today. Over a period, probably in a month's time or probably in 2 weeks time, if at all we gear up with the amount of confidence we speak, as you told, how you actually try to convince during the process interviews and kind of stuff. Within it's only aberration or whatever I can tell you. Within 2 weeks or something, is there a possibility where I can just start floating my
too short notice.
No. I'm only trying to tell. Can I start floating my resumes in the market so that by the time we finish off, we'll always be on the track? Is there a possibility?
Yeah, there is always possibilities are there, because there is one student of mine. Okay, he has worked overseas in oil gas companies. in Middle
Okay.
East. Now
Okay.
that guy has not yet completed his SAP EHS module.
Okay.
Within a week or 3-4 days, he got a call from Accenture, and now he's placed in Accenture. Though he doesn't
Okay.
know anything much in SAP EHS module.
Okay.
Okay, and there are guys who have experience of years and years,
Okay.
and they are facing it really difficult, to get into a company. I mean,
Okay.
what can I say? It's all part of luck and also your own confidence.
True.
He is located in Chennai. He has got his offer letter now. Maybe in August he is going to join Accenture.
Okay. Packages are good, is it? By the way.
He is getting 20 lakh package with 4
Wow.
lakh variable. Okay,
Oh.
that guy is, his name is Sanjay. He's based out of Chennai. He was until few months back, he was working in Kuwait. Okay, now his language is good. He has good command on EHS. So the Accenture people took his interview. They asked him. He said, "No, boss, I have joined this module just now, so I don't know much, but yeah, the core domain related topics I'm very well versed." So they
Good.
checked his documents. Everything was fine. They onboarded him.
Okay.
And I can also give you the example of some of the guys who are struggling, who are putting lot of effort, but they are not
Okay.
able to get into an IT company.
Yeah,
What
it
can I
depends.
say?
It depends, as you told. Yeah.
So
Fair.
that is why you see, you have to put your effort, be confident. I'm sure, you can crack the interview.
Yeah. Yeah, see, because you have seen everything, like you have seen a different world. In fact, as a student earlier, then as a tutor, and as an employee, as
Yes,
an entrepreneur, everything you
yes,
have seen. So you know exactly, and you can judge very quickly with
exactly.
all the inputs, whatever you told.
Yeah.
Uh,
See,
Fair enough.
even I was working as a EHS advisor in the Middle East. Okay, when I came back, I had no
Oh,
idea what to do because the life was very tough. Being in the field, in a construction field, it was very tough. Then I
correct.
decided, okay, let us try. Why not in SAP EHS?
Okay.
So your success is just a decision away. That's all I can say.
Correct. Otherwise, just wanted to ask you, like, you came out from Middle East, and within no time you got into this SAP EHS, is it?
It's not within no time. It took good amount of time. Like,
Okay.
because by the time I completed my course, it was almost 3-4 months. Okay,
Oh,
then
okay.
it took another a month and a half, to attend the interviews and load my CV, get selected.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
Again,
enough.
it depends. It depends.
Okay. But I would not like to ask you a company where you're working, but you're in a MNC as of now, is it, Mr. Rayas?
No, it's not an MNC, but yeah, one of my client is a MNC company.
Oh, you are an independent consultant who works for the
No, no,
MNCs
no, no,
to. Uh,
no. I work for a company which is Indian based. It's an Indian based company. It's not an MNC,
okay.
but our clients are from Middle East basically.
Oh, okay. So you travel abroad also, is it? Quite times, if at all? Like
Yeah,
on site,
before
off site?
this, yeah, I used to go, but once this COVID started, nowhere. I'm just working from home as of now.
Okay. That options is given for the company, right? For you?
Yeah.
As long as you're trying to close the issues, they don't mind where you're sitting, right?
Yes.
Either you're at home or you're in office or you're playing
Yeah.
golf or whatever, it doesn't matter.
So
Yeah.
you can either be in an implementation project or you can be in a support project. Again, it depends, in which kind of project they place you. So
Okay.
in support project, you will be handling the technical glitches in the software. You will resolve those issues. Or in an implementation project, you have to implement the project from end to end, taking the
Okay.
requirements to
Mm-hmm.
going live.
And customizing it as per the client,
Yeah,
if at all he
requirements.
asks, right? If at all he asks, okay.
Yes, they will. Definitely, they will.
Okay. 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 But I think Accenture is actually hiring people left, right, and center in SAP EHS, right?
Yeah. Not only Accenture, I can tell you a lot of names. Tech
O-
Mahindra,
Okay.
HCL Technologies,
Okay.
and
So you have a lot of contacts there also, is it? By the way, just asking you out of the.
yeah, I have few contacts.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Nayas, God willing, we
Sure,
need to
sure,
crack
sure.
this. Ultimately,
Yeah,
everything is in his hands, as you told. But we will
exactly.
put our effort day in, day out. Hmm?
Yes, yes.
There is two things, right? Working hard and working smart. Both is equally important.
Exactly, exactly. It is. It is.
Mm. We'll do that. Thanks for your time and guidance.
Sure, Srini.
Probably we need to start from next week, Mr. Nayas. That should not be an issue with you, right?
No, that will not be an issue with me. We
Mm.
can.
I think basics I don't have to go again because you already given the basic outlook for me. I think I have to just dive into the exact whatever you told now, that specification management,
Yes,
MSDS,
exactly,
application.
exactly.
That kind of lines where is what I think I need huge support. One is that. Second thing is how do we actually like every time the training will be on Skype only, is it?
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
So I should again reinstall and I'll again recheck how the Skype does. Why it didn't come
No,
on
no,
my
no, no.
laptop?
No,
Uh,
you just install it once on your laptop.
okay.
Keep it ready. See,
Okay.
because if on Skype we can even record our trainings. I can share
Okay.
my screen, record the sessions. Later,
Okay.
probably you can again revisit those sessions and see if something goes wrong. You can
Yeah.
check where you made the mistake. So
Okay.
it's quite convenient.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Done.
and when we are not practicing, you can even connect through your mobile phone. That is fine.
Unfortunately, that is what has happened. I wanted to actually see it, but with this mobile, I'm seeing a very smaller version. But fair enough. I think, yeah, I think I could, whatever possible, I've taken out.
Okay.
I'll let Mr. Jay know, na?
Sure, sure.
Tomorrow. Hmm?
Yeah, sure. No issue.
Tomorrow you're starting a course. That's what he told me.
Yeah, tomorrow, yes. I'm about to start for one of the person.
Okay. I would like to take it on Wednesday. If that is not a thing, I'll just speak with Jay and I will
Okay, sure.
immediately come back to you.
Yeah, no.
Meanwhile, what is that software server access will be given by whom? Jay only, is it?
I can share you the email. You just have to download and configure that in your laptop.
Oh, that also again that way only, is it?
Hmm.
That's for 2 months. Huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um,
Yeah.
so you also told that you will give me some lot of shortcuts and tools, kind of a things, whichever is there, tips and tricks of navigating quicker. Huh? Huh?
Yeah, actually, those are the things that you will be using on a day-to-day basis. That's not an issue.
For you, it will be like that, Mr. Reyes. For us, it will be different.
Yeah, no problem. I'll guide you through that. That's not an issue at all.
Okay.
But only thing is, put your effort, read through the material which I shared with you.
Yeah.
Okay, be prepared, keep everything in mind. That's all is required.
So video recording, some amount of exercises, and some material always will be shared by you, which has to be revisited again and again,
Yeah,
right?
you need to read and be thorough with all those things.
Components, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Fair enough, sir. Thank you, Mr.
yeah.
Nayas. Hmm?
Yeah, nice speaking to you.
Same here, sir. Same here. I'll connect with Mr. Jay and I'll come back to you, brother.
Sure, 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 sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No
Take care.
problem.
Bye.
Welcome. Yeah, bye.
Inshallah.